Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Cornhole Geartalk, presented by West Georgia Cornhole and Titan Bags. I'm your host, Ben, and I am with my co-host, Kendall
What's going on, everyone?
and Josh.
Howdy.
Well,
That was worth it. That was good.
Today we have a special guest with us. Josh, would you like to introduce who our special guest is and what we're going to be covering today?
Absolutely. We have Austin Schlobohm, one of our pros, our returning pros. He was with us last year, and he's returning again this year. And we're kind of wanting to pick his brain on just the general process of becoming a pro, what it feels like being a pro, like after his rookie year, the college experience, and because I feel like a lot of people want to become cornhole pros, and maybe not a lot of people know what it's like to kind of go through that process and work towards that end goal. And I feel like if there's anyone who kind of knows what it's like right now and what a lot of approaches is, it's going to be Austin.
Yeah, well, he is with us on the phone, so we don't have him in the room with us. But hey, Austin, you there?
Yes, I'm here. What's up, guys?
Hey, man, how you doing today?
Not bad. How are y'all?
Oh, not too bad. So one of my favorite things throughout this past season was getting to hang out with you, getting to know you a little bit. You're a really cool dude, super nice, but you're also really good at cornhole too.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to watch several of your live matches that really, really impressed me throughout the season. But yeah, why don't we go ahead and start diving into some of these questions and see what your responses would be to some of this stuff. So Kendall and Josh, you guys take it away.
So, really, whenever we started talking about topics, one of the big things that I have not seen much about, like really highlight at all, is the college experience. And so I guess the first big question would be, for me, is how many colleges are actually doing this, playing college cornhole?
Well, I will say that I think it's grown tremendously since when I played. I think I played it may have been the second year they ever did it, and then like the next 2 years. And the second year I think was the year that I won, and there was maybe 20 colleges doing it, but then it was small colleges. So like I played for a community college, and now you see like. I think I even seen the other day on Facebook that there was a college who was literally starting to recruit cornhole players to come and play on the cornhole teams.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
I guess I need to go back to college.
Yeah, for sure. Because the college thing is something that's on my mind a lot, honestly, because obviously you have kind of the hot topic of younger kids being in the pro scene. Mm-hmm. And how every year we obviously see that list getting smaller and smaller because not everybody's happy with it. But there's also people like I couldn't imagine the Gore brothers not being in the cornhole world. Yeah. And so I get why they make the exceptions. But also if they just let people jump straight to being a pro, then it kind of prevents that like collegiate experience to form. It prevents the high school experience to form. It's like why do that if at 16 you can just be a pro anyways? Yeah. And so I see both sides of it. And so I feel like the beginnings of collegiate cornhole, I feel like has got to be really important to the future of cornhole.
Mm. So, Austin, whenever was there already cornhole established when you got to your college, or did you have to start a club, a team? Is there any kind of process like that you had to go through?
Well, so the first year that I went, it was just where it was a community college. It was like I had just started playing cornhole for like 4 months, and the guy that I started playing with, we seen like the post on Facebook, and we were like, man, we think we're kind of good, but in all reality, when we showed up, we weren't that good compared to everyone else. But no, for like the second year when I went was I played for the University of Virginia at Wise, which is a bigger college from my area, and we had like a qualifying tournament where all students could come and play, and the winning team got to go and play in the college tournament, and the college like funded the team. Mm-hmm. Oh. But as far as that goes, mostly there wasn't much going on around my college. So
did you didn't ever play in like the Southern Cornhole College Championship, did you?
No, because technically I'm from Virginia, so I couldn't anyways. Because SEC,
that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I did see that highlight. I've seen that highlight multiple times where I think it may have been the University of Georgia or Auburn. I can't remember, but the kid shushed the crowd.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen that?
Yeah,
That's a good
it was Georgia versus Arkansas, I think.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was crazy. We were there for that.
Mm.
I was there at that event, and this was like maybe the first year they ever did something like that, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
Like nobody. It was at the SEC championship football game fan experience. And a lot of bystanders were like, what is this? And they went over, and it was just fun because Georgia and Auburn were playing in football that year against each other. And Georgia made it to the finals, so there were just a ton of Georgia people crowded around. It was
Yeah.
really
That's
fun.
awesome.
That is really cool.
Because I feel like one of the big
Yeah.
thing for college, because I compare a lot of stuff to the fishing world, because I feel like it's also really blown up recently. But there wasn't a big college bass fishing scene 10 years ago. And I think that's where a lot of people got lost, was how to get started doing it. You know, you go to a school that doesn't have a well-established team, which 10 years ago there weren't any, and how to get that process started to start actually competing at that level. You know, that time there was, some high school teams here and there doing a little bit of stuff, but then you go to college and there's like 5 doing it, and they may not be around you. So you said there was
Yeah.
just a qualifying tournament that anybody could do.
Yep. Any college students could come, and we actually had a pretty good turnout. I think there was over 20 teams for. I mean, UVA Wise is a smaller school, so 20 teams for that is actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but see, you didn't have to do any groundwork for, getting things set up at the colleges that were around you, though, right?
No, the only thing that I really had to do was, since I was the only kid from, I guess, at that college that was kind of serious about it, I just like kind of ran the tournament. But
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I didn't do much.
So once you started getting involved in it, what did it look like playing college cornhole? Like what did that look like as far as, like, were you traveling to go to other colleges to play? Was it just tournaments here and there where you were just representing a college? What did that look like?
For me, it was just the National College Cornhole Championship.
Okay.
And I will say that I was I wasn't very serious in the cornhole world yet when I was playing college. And I will say that as I got on ESPN, I honestly thought that I was like the best cornhole player in the world. And then they had these
As you
pro
should.
Yeah, that's
invitationals
the
with all these
attitude, man.
college players. And then you get there with the pro invitational and you're like, man, I'm really not even that good.
Oh, I think that's one thing I'd like to see more is more publicity to the college world. Easier ways to get started, because when I was in college, cornhole of course was tiny then, but I had no idea it was anything at all. And I feel like that's where a bunch of people are. And if we can get, people like you said, you had only been playing for 4 months when you started the college deal. So how many people out there that have only been playing for 4 months know that in 2 years they could be an ACL Pro? That's a whole nother line of players that could be really impressive.
And kind of with that, one of the questions I have too is like, even if you, I guess, a part of that process of becoming a pro, like in that, let's say you use that 2-year span, do you feel like the college cornhole experience gave you a little bit of foundation, like as a pro? So when it came to like your first year getting drafted into like the teams event, do you feel like you had more highlighted material for you as a player than other people around you who were also rookies? Because obviously people who are rookies who just crush it in the qualifier, obviously that does mean a lot. But to crush it in the qualifier and to also have kind of, accolades to kind of point back to, does it make it easier where you feel like you don't have to like justify your case as a player when it comes to finding a partner, etc.?
I would say that when I played and won, I don't think it was as big of an achievement back then as it is now, just because of the growth of the game. Like when I played, there wasn't many there was some really good quality players, but there wasn't as many. Now the college cornhole tournaments are just stacked. So I would say that now anyone who wins, I think people are immediately like, man, that kid's got to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Just because of the growth of college. But other than that, I would say that just like being able to have that TV experience really helps for like if you do make it to the pro level, because it's like I've kind of been here already. So
Yeah, you
it's
get
a
that
little bit easier.
that first broadcast nerves. You go ahead and get it out of the way. That's always helpful.
At least for most people, though. I will say that I think Kendall touched base on this on y'all's last podcast. The rookie nerves is unreal for a pro.
believe it.
I'm sure.
I don't know if I'm just a head case and maybe I'm the only one that experienced it, but my first year as a pro, like I almost forgot how to play. It kind of felt like because it's just like I play with these guys all the time, but why can't I compete with them now?
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah.
Yeah, that didn't happen to me, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I think a lot of people in the game realize it, but outside of the game, they don't realize how big of a mental game cornhole is.
Oh, yeah.
And that just all those nerves just contribute to that even more. And that's even more you have to overcome.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about going from your experience with the college scene and then going into qualifiers to become a pro. What in the world was that like? How did you get to that point? Where did you jump from, I just play cornhole in college, to, you know what, I want to try to be a pro?
It probably goes back to the second year that I played in the college tournament and I won doubles and singles. At that point, my head was getting a little bit big, and I was like, I got to be pretty good. So I started practicing more. I started traveling more to play. And then by the end of the next year, I just happened to be in the open standings to qualify to be a pro. So I didn't have to go through any gauntlets or anything like that. So.
Do you feel like in the current day and age, the same approach you had is possible now? Like that casual of an approach, like just kind of traveling and playing, and then just you're able to check your phone one day and just kind of say like, oh, I made it.
I don't think so. So many quality players travel everywhere now. I don't think it's feasible for someone who's just like starting out and getting serious to really like jump in and compete. I will say though, I do think that cornhole is one game that you can get really good at really fast.
Yeah.
So you can play for a few months and be good, but going from Austin Schlobohm to Jay Rubin is a whole different thing. So you can get to where I'm at, but then to get to Jay Rubin, I just don't think that that's as realistic anymore, because it takes time, because those guys grind every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that's something that I've kind of seen over the years watching cornhole is like, I feel like this is going to be a controversial sentence, because I don't want to say that cornhole is technically easy, but like I feel like the agility that's required for the sport, like a lot of the strength required for the sport, is at a lower bar.
Yeah.
And so because of that, the ability for like that first 4 months of practicing to get to that competitive level is, I'm going to use the word easy like lightly, but
Yeah.
I feel like then the really hard part is about consistency at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, I can throw 12s, but it's in between that 112, I have a 6, a 7, a 4, and then a 9 in between. But then, like you're saying, like people like Jay Rubin, it's in between that 12 is, more 12s.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like that's where the real skill is being able to do that, not just for an hour or a half hour while you're at broadcast, but all day leading up to it and all day before that and all season.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that kind of goes in line with the ACL slogan, like anyone can play, anyone can win.
Yeah.
And so you can get in to that rhythm at the beginning to the competitive level, but getting to the pro spot, that's the really high level stuff. That's where it gets you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so, Austin, you did mention the rookie nerves kind of being pretty bad for you last year. How are they feeling this year? Do you feel like a brand new man in this 24 season? Do you feel like you just washed it all off and you're just dialed in now?
I do feel way better. I don't know what happened between my first year and this being my third year now. I think I got to play with Frank my first year, and honestly, coming in a rookie, being able to play with Frank Marlin was just, I would have never imagined it happening, and I don't think that helped my nerves because like this dude wins all the time. I see him on TV all the time when I was just joking around. So like it was just like, man, I got to throw 12s for this guy. And then now it's like I've played a few years and I know that I can play with everyone, and now I just got to go and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. It seems like because you know Devin pretty well, correct?
Yeah, we're pretty good buds.
Yeah. So I guess it's not as much of, now you're kind of the mentor to the rookie. It's kind of come full circle now. But I guess it's not as exaggerated if y'all are already good buddies, but still cool to think about.
Well, and also you got to think about the fact that, Frank, he just kind of gives off this like not in a negative way, but like in a positive way, like a godfather vibe to the cornhole sport itself.
Yeah, he doesn't
Like-
really ever seem phased as to what's going on.
Yeah, and like he's got his hands in the development of the game and products in the game too. So like I could imagine that would be nerve-wracking to play with Frank. But yeah, you get the chance and opportunity now to usher in a rookie in Devin. Now I want to ask you what your thoughts are on not just playing with Devin, but Devin as just a singles player, because obviously he went through the qualifiers this year and it was pretty stacked.
Yes, very stacked.
Well, it's kind of a funny story. So Devin has been playing around me for like a year now, and he's been pretty tough. And but he hasn't went out from like a regional perspective. So like we all thought he was good, but anytime someone ever talked to me, I'd be like, yeah, he's good, but like let's see him somewhere else, because you can't really gauge anyone until you move out of your local region. And I think I'm almost certain that the Worlds was his first big tournament other than a regional ever.
Wow.
So like he literally just went in and he went to the biggest tournament of the year for his first non-regional tournament.
Wow.
And just to see him, like, I knew that he could get in, but like the dude went 8-0 in his first serious tournament
That's insane.
ever.
Was it just a stomp
So-
as well?
Just a what?
Was it just like, did he just stomp through? Like, were they all close games, or were they just some of them a little rough?
Few of them were close, but I think he won most of them by 7 points or more, probably.
That's impressive.
That's
That's really impressive.
Yep, that's when right after that, I went back and talked to some of the guys that I taught cornhole with around my area, and I'm like, this guy might actually be the real deal.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you that me being my first tournament there, I would have went 0-4. To the second weight.
Yeah, because I mean, you see it all the time. Guys that dominate locally, they can go and, I mean, just the wheels come unglued at some of those bigger tournaments, and for that to be his first tournament and able to go 8-0, that's insane.
Well, I was talking with Ruben about like the difference between the way that playing on the big stage versus playing in qualifiers feels, and it's like there is more pressure, it feels like, when you do the qualifiers, because it's either you have a chance or you don't.
Yeah.
Whereas with the pro, or like with the big stage stuff, it's like if you lose it, man, that's not fun. But you've got another chance.
Yeah,
True.
if you lose it, you're getting fifth. Dadgummit.
And the pressure is just insane. Like every time I've watched somebody go through qualifiers, I get so anxious and nervous.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, it kills me.
And I guess I've never been in that position, but I'm like broadcast lane energy. Like once you get past the nerves, I feel like that's different. But like once you get past the nerves, there's just an energy on the broadcast lane that you can kind of channel, and like you can kind of, whether you're not the fan favorite out there, like you can still kind of feel like, okay, there's a ton of people out here watching me, and I can perform and show off for these people. But qualifiers, it's just got to feel you're just so alone, surrounded by hundreds of people who want you to lose.
And you also don't know if this is somebody who's just like, not good normally, and you're like, am I getting beat by somebody who's not good? There's so many questions.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you lose a game, you lose the pro qualifier, you're done. You're not. You got good luck next year. But then you go to a broadcast, you lose
365 days.
Yeah, you go to a broadcast and you lose, and you go get your check. Yeah. So I feel like the pressure's definitely on you in that qualifier.
And I guess kind of like what you were saying, like broadcast, like you go out there and you're like, oh, I lost to Jay Rubin. That makes sense though. Like, okay, cool, I'll pack it up.
That checks out.
But then in qualifier, it's like some 14-year-old kid in a bucket hat just sends you home, and you're like, all right. It's like, okay, man. Who he ends up going like 3 and 4.
I got a funny story about some kid in a bucket hat. It's not literally a bucket hat, but one of my friends back home, he played really, really hard for a whole year, and he got really good. And not this year at Worlds, but the one previously, he went and played, and he signed up, and he was like excited because he thought that he could actually go and compete. He did pretty well, but then all of a sudden he plays this kid named Braden Wilson, and at the time, I don't know if anyone really knew how good Braden was, but Braden smoked him. And it's just this little kid, and it's like, we didn't even know this guy, and he's over here beating us to death.
Yeah, because he would have been, 12 or 13 at that point?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Just to get walked by. Oh, man, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine.
Yeah, there's definitely some crazy levels of pressure in this environment with qualifying. So I don't know if you had to have any hopes and expectations for the season playing with Devin, like what does that feel like? I mean, obviously that's just such a bizarre question because everybody's answer to that is going to want to be, oh, we want to win it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are your expectations along that line? What do you think you guys can accomplish?
Well, with it being Devin's first year, I've talked to him about nerves. He watched the previous podcast too, and he's like, they think I'm going to be nervous. You just wait.
Devin, you're going to be nervous.
100%.
You're going to be nervous.
Yeah. I'm going to be nervous for
you. You don't have to experience it. But I tell him all the time, just like take it as we go. Because I know that he can play, so I'm not worried about that. I think it's just like getting his foot in. So I just try and tell him just to take it. Please take it one game at a time. And I really think that we could be top 30, top 20 potential as long as we play like we know we can, and just go for it.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see what you guys can do because there's kind of, it's like I mentioned in that episode, it's like there's a question mark that I've got over you guys as a team. And so I'm excited to see what kind of outcomes happen from this. It's one of those that's not like a bad question mark. It's one of anticipation. Like I'm waiting. I'm ready to see where this is going to go.
Yep. I got a funny story to tell you about Devin while we're on the topic.
Do it.
Talking about like how fresh he is into the cornhole world. So the Rock Hill, the first Open this year, was his first Open ever. And just to kind of give you an understanding of how he literally never played anything other than a regional and worlds, when we were playing rounders for the Open in Rock Hill, he had no idea that we were playing to get into an upper and bottom bracket. He thought that we were just playing for seeding to be in the top bracket.
Oh, no. Yeah, which that's kind of to round back into the original topic. How do we think qualifications will go in the future? Because you get somebody like Devin, while it's great if you're good, go play the qualifier and make it. but I feel like at some point we will see that done away with because there's 32 spots for the Pro Qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
When do we open that up to college kids who went through the college gauntlet? They deserve to be there. Get them in there, and then maybe open up the rest of that to opens points.
Well, I mean, I know that we've talked about this in the past, but I think a lot of it in the future is going to come down to team kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
once
And
there's
what
franchises,
the franchise budget is. Well, I mean, if this person is a pro, they're going to bring them on.
Yeah. So I think that's one thing. While I love the Pro Qualifier, it's just it doesn't get any more raw than that. Like if you are good and you can hold yourself together, you can be a pro. Which I love that concept, but I just don't know how long that would last. I would love to see it last.
Imagine how they handled like football.
Oh, it'd be
You just
awesome.
show up
dude.
some or
my
basketball
gosh.
just one-on-ones.
Oh my god, man! Like those games would be better than anything through the season.
That would be terrifying.
Oh, I agree. Like,
It wouldn't happen, but that's the way I'm kind of looking at cornhole because like it's young and seeing all this grow and being kind of I wouldn't say the forefront of it right now, but you're basically at the forefront of it. And so that's one thing I would really, really like to see more of is, integrating the college side of things.
absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because, I mean, just watching college football, if you can get, obviously you don't have to be an athletic specimen to play cornhole, but college kids, I mean, like if you can just get that competitive edge out of them, it's just, people love to watch it. College kids just have so much energy. I think it would be amazing for the ACL if it, I mean, they're always growing the college tour, but just to be able to get it like way more involved because what the college kids bring, I think, is just something that no one else has.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, even seeing a college division alongside the opens, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you talk about a crazy fan base experience.
It'd be awesome.
Is when you get the
That is true.
colleges involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
This weekend we've got Georgia Tech versus Georgia, Florida versus Kentucky, whatever. There'd be some crazy stuff going on at that.
I feel like the rivalries between college it's so much more intense than, national teams.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you've got these just 100-year-old rivalries that already exist, and you're just bringing it to a new game.
All I'm thinking about in my head now, though, is the amount of seating they would need at these
Oh,
ACL
gosh.
events. If just like tomorrow they flipped a switch and they're like, all right, yeah, the Georgia Bulldogs now have a cornhole team.
Oh, it'd be sick.
And it's every college is like that.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah,
It'd be
just-
sick. I think it would also bring a lot more publicity to the game.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
one
of
of the
course. Yeah,
biggest
yeah.
things. Like the amount of publicity it would bring. Like that would be so good for the sport.
God, wouldn't that be nuts to like just before each of the football games, just throw out the college
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
cornhole?
Yeah.
Like they just got it down there on the field.
The
That's the
Final
new
Eight
halftime
bracket.
show.
Oh
Oh,
man,
the Final
my-
Eight bracket
oh,
for
let's go.
halftime. That'd be insane.
What do you think? Could you-
Sorry to any band nerds
could you
out
handle
there.
could you handle that pressure, Austin?
Shoot, I don't know. I've been to a few Georgia football games, and I tell you, that place gets crazy.
It does.
God,
It
and you're
sure
out there
does.
like an away game. Just
Oh my
everyone's
gosh.
booing at you.
Oh man, that would be terrifying.
That would be that'd be rough.
Gosh, that's
That's
like
crazy to think about.
that reminds me of like Strider walking out on the mound at Philly, and just you got to imagine the nerves happening during that baseball game. Like a brand new sport coming out onto the football field. Everybody already hates your team. It's not like they got to wait and see for a few years. Everybody already hates you, and they don't even know you.
Yep.
Like go out
They're
there,
like,
those
why
nerves
are-
would be insane.
Why are we being forced to watch cornhole? We want to watch we want to watch football, and I already hate these guys.
Yeah,
that would be insane.
All right.
Stacy, if you're listening.
Yeah. There you go.
Get it started.
There we go. That would be fun. All right. Well, this has been really cool talking with you, Austin. We really appreciate you being on.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me. I've had a blast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say I am really thankful to have you on the team. Like I mentioned whenever we were talking about you at the beginning, you're a really cool guy. You're very humble. because you're a really great cornhole player, and I think that it's awesome that you're a part of Team Titan. There's a special, I guess I would say a special representation that's there just because you're on the team. So appreciate you being on the team, man.
Thanks, means a lot. I will say, just from my point of view, just to everyone listening, I mean, everyone supports bad companies for different reasons, but if you just take a look at how other bad companies treat their pros, that in itself should make people want to support Titan, because I can promise you that no one else treats each other like family like we do.
I appreciate that.
Wow, that means
That's
a lot.
awesome.
That does mean a lot.
No.
Yeah, we definitely try our best to.
Yeah, we definitely do everything we can for
Yeah.
you guys.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, cool, man. Well, we'll talk to you later. You have a good afternoon, and we'll see you soon. See you, Austin.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, well, that wraps it up with Austin.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good. Do we have any further things we want to discuss about all that?
No, I feel like just kind of to wrap up, like I feel like I said, like I think the college scene I do think needs to grow.
Yeah.
But obviously it's all going to depend on how the pro scene develops, because obviously if what we assume is true, which is where, you know, the franchises and teams is growing, that's a perfect environment for the college scene to grow. But if it doesn't go that route, then I will admit I feel like it's going to be hard for college to grow, because you
Agreed.
can't. Because if you could just take the skeleton of college sports and just drop it into cornhole, then it's already there and it's good to go. But I mean, I guess my hopes of college also kind of goes into my hopes of teams. So
Yeah, that really is true. I think it is interesting when you compare cornhole to a lot of other sports that are, you know, very well established in the professional world. Like football, I mean, that was a college sport first before it was pro.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, a little iffy, because like there were some kind of both at the same time type situations, but you did have some college stuff before that, you know, and so with cornhole, it is interesting to see that it fast tracked and jumped right to professional.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the team environment, because it's more just individuals playing right now than a representation of a particular group of people. So I'll be.
Which with you mentioning pro football, Josh hit him with the Packers fun fact.
oh man, do you know why the Packers are named the Packers?
Yeah, because they
Ben's
pack
gonna know.
cheese.
God, it's not cheese.
Yeah, it is.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Pretty sure it's a meat factory, wasn't it?
No, it's cheese.
I'm
You
not
didn't
sure.
watch the video?
I didn't watch the video.
I
I'm
sent
sorry.
you the
Why?
video.
Why do you think that they wear cheese hats?
Oh,
Yeah, I know that, but I'm gonna rewatch it when I get home. I know it's because they pack stuff. Do you know why the Bears are called the Bears?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't know about that.
It's because they already had the Cubs, and generally football players are bigger than baseball players, and so they're the Bears. Yeah, chew on that one.
yeah. Josh hit me with these fun facts the other day, and my mind was blown.
Yeah, I'll send you the same video. It's pretty interesting.
All right. Well, what about the 49ers?
I don't know.
Because 50 was taken.
No, the Gold Rush, the 49 Gold Rush,
I guess yeah, I should have known
the
that.
49ers. Yeah. Well. All right. Well.
There's your fun facts for
All
the day.
right. I did the episode on some fun facts today.
We'll start ending them all on fun facts. Be ready.
Oh yeah, that'd
Ooh,
be fun.
that could be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a fun little segment.
Yeah.
What's today's fun fact? Yeah. Anyway, so use code Geartalk 5% off. Thanks to everyone who has
What are y'all
shared it.
pointing at?
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it's up there. So, well, subscribe on YouTube, like this video, comment what you want us to talk about next, who you want us to interview next time, and follow us on Spotify. We're going to be dropping these Monday mornings, and you can listen to them on your way to work, get your week started off on the right foot. So, with no further ado, we'll see you later, everybody.